Reading out loud. I'm good at reading, and I'm pretty good at speaking, but I'm not good at doing both at the same time. I can't speak out loud what I've written. I can't perform the way I can the words that flow from my brain to my mouth. It's like a fork in the road. My brain splits into writing/paper/pen and speaking/camera/mouth. But writing and speaking don't tend to meet. It's weird though, because I tend to write the way I talk, and my brain just chooses which road to go down depending on the situation. Like this. I'm writing this because it's past midnight and I'm tired and my mouth doesn't feel like moving. However, I'm even writing in the filler words like even and like, but I'm still using perfect grammar. That doesn't change. It's easier to write than to talk because there's a backspace button when it comes to writing. You can erase what you've written, or at least cross it out, but with speaking, you can't really do that. Well, you can, but that requires you to speak at a device that allows you to edit after the fact. And when I'm talking to an actual human being, that doesn't happen. It feels more like timed writing that way. I don't babble as much when talking to a human being, and I don't ramble as much when I know there's a time limit and there are constraints to what I have to write. But back to reading out loud. It's a good thing I'm not very good at it. It's not a good thing. But back to reading out loud. It's a thing that I'm not very good at, and I've always wanted to get better. In the Words I Wrote series that I sometimes do, I read aloud words that I've written. However, I'm never really satisfied with the way my voice sounds when I'm reading what I've written out loud. And this isn't And this isn't constrained to just my reading of my own writing. Whenever we have to read a poem, Whenever we have to read a poem or something aloud in class, I volunteer, but then I stammer through it unless I've memorized the passage already. I guess that's why I'm not very good at reading out loud. I'm too used to memorizing out loud. When I was younger, I went to Pathshala, or Jainism class, or Jain religion class, every week, and we always had to memorize a stuti or a stavan or a sutra. A stuti is a short melodic rhyme, so those were easy, but stavans were full songs, and sutras were long, more poem-like mantras. I use the word mantra because there aren't really words I know in English to describe what a sutra is, but anyway, I would have to memorize these long passages in words I didn't quite understand, but the key was memorization. We would read it a couple times, but our practice went into memorization of the thing. I'm really proud of the fact that I have so many sutras memorized, to say nothing of the stutis and stavans. Here is the sutra I am proudest of memorizing.
Namatanam Arhantanam Bhagwantanam Aigeranam Titayaranam Sam Sambutanam Purisatamanam Purisasiyanam Purisavara Pundaryanam Purisavara Gandatinam Lokuttamanam Logananam Lokhiyanam Lokpaivanam Lokpajogaranam Avidayanam Chakatayanam Avadayanam Sarnadayanam Bohitayanam Damadayanam Damadesiyanam Damanaganam Damasarinam Damavata Joran Chakavatinam Apatia Varnana Dansadarana Vieta Chomanam Jinanam Javyanam Tinanam Tavyanam Budanam Boyanam Mutanam Moganam Savanunam Savadashinam Siva Mayalam Roam Anantam Makayam Avabhavam Mapurvaraviti Siddhigay Namnayam Thanam Sampatanam Namo Jinanam Jia Bayanam Jaya Siddha Jaibafasanti Nagai Kale Sampaya Vatamana Saveti Viena Vandami.
That one's called Namatanam, and it bows down to different kinds of enlightened beings, as Jainism tends to do, or as Jainism does, is what it says. But it's the most fun to say because it's full of alliterations and tongue twisters. I probably memorized it when I was in 4th grade or earlier, so I never really had to read the complicated words I was saying. To memorize things, we would go over them in my car. My mom saying a stanza and me saying it back. It was all verbal. After the first couple read-throughs, none of it was on paper. I never really had to read aloud in the place I would be most likely to read. I never I never really had to read out loud in the place I'd be most likely to read out loud. In school, we had to do presentations that we rehearsed and performed in front of a class. I was always the one without any note cards. I never even prepared more than the PowerPoint. I always knew that if I knew the material well enough and the order of the PowerPoint, I'd get my point across just fine. So I never read aloud in that situation. Reading, my one and only hobby for most of my life, was a solitary activity. I learned how to read pretty young, so my mom wasn't reading Harry Potter out loud to me or anything like that. I think we stopped reading together when I was 5 or 6. I was an independent and silent reader, so no reading aloud there. Last summer, when I was enjoying teaching 3rd and 4th graders, I wasn't enjoying that. So last summer when I was teaching 4th and 5th graders, 3rd and 4th graders, wow, I got that wrong. Okay. So last summer when I was teaching 3rd and 4th graders reading comprehension, I suddenly had to read out loud. And I was really bad at it. I couldn't do the voices or even get through more than a sentence without stammering or stalling, clearly. And eventually, when I write my own book and I have to go on book tours and the like, I want to be good at this. I want to be able to confidently raise my hand in class and read the passage out loud. I want to be able to teach kids more effectively by engaging with them through reading out loud. So this is some practice. Hopefully I didn't completely suck. I kinda did. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to subscribe for a new video every single day in May. Not really. And at least once a week after that. I will see you guys tomorrow for a new Create Every Day in May. Bye! And that's the hand wave that I always do. I'll turn the camera around and do that. I will see you guys next time. Bye!